Greetings, Internet! Welcome to episode number 296 of the Comic Watchers Show. He's Chad, I'm Matt, and this is our silly show where we talk about comics and two comics creators, no less. So I think
Meeting
I'm
for
ready.
the first time.
It's many for the first time, some not for the first time. Our guests this week are writer and creator Lewis Southard.
Southard.
Lewis, and artist Devlin Baker. Together, they are working on a Kickstarter book called Laugh Riot, and it is it's. I'm gonna let them give the whole spiel, but it's anti-fascist and it's got ultra violence and Looney Tunes esque escapades. So let's just jump in. So, Lewis, how have you been?
I am ecstatic that I'm back on Comic Watch. I get to meet the Matt Meyer for the very first time. And I get to see Chad once again. We said backstage, I've not seen you since we were both on a tugboat filled with vampires back in New York City. And Devlin and I, despite knowing each other for what is it now, like maybe 2 years? This is the first time we've actually met. So this is I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good.
That's awesome. And you said you're traveling right now. You're coming to us from Portland, Oregon. How are things in the Pacific Northwest?
You know what? I'm from New Jersey, and right now there is a giant blizzard Arctic storm going on that's put all my loved ones in jeopardy and harm and danger. And I've managed to escape that completely. So once again, I am ecstatic. I do not have.
Let's come in this weekend.
I don't have to shovel snow. I've managed to escape just off the skin of my teeth.
Well, okay. And Devlin, how are you, sir?
I'm hanging in there. I'm just trying to get ahead and I don't know, just trying to have fun.
Okay, that's awesome. So it's a good thing then that you're working on a comic called Laugh Riot because it lends itself to fun by dint of title alone. So you've already got a step ahead of the game.
Well, before we get into the book, why don't we get their backstories?
Well, I think that's a great idea, Chad.
Devlin, I'll let you take the wheel first.
Oh, sure. My name's Devlin. I'm from North Carolina, and I've been drawing since I was like a little kid, and I went to the Q-Word school for just one semester, but I think that semester, makes a difference and adds up. But I've just been. All my life is drawing and art and comics, and so I'm right where I want to be. So
And
Do you
how
remember
long
maybe that?
have you been drawing professionally, roughly?
professionally, probably 3 or 4 years, something like that. Starting off with just like commissions, and then kind of working up to contributing to books and series and stuff. I'm the artist. I'm the penciler and inker for The Stranger, which is another Kickstarter book. And I've been working with those writers, James Patrickson and Tom Phillipson, for about coming up on, I think it was just 3 years, maybe 4 years. And I'm having a blast.
Awesome. It's so rewarding whenever we have someone on the show and they're like, yes, I'm living my dream, and it's a lot of work, but it rules, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
I'm going to interject. I'm going to say that Devlin is being far too modest and humble. I think he is one of the best artists working right now. Our mutual pal, Patrick Bramble, I believe is in the chat. I met him, and I'm going to quote him. All I do is glaze Devlin whenever I am on an interview or just to chat. I think he is equivalent to a young Frank Miller. I think he just has style, energy, but even a more kinetic action than good old Frank. and I know that's the high praise. That's a tall thing to say. But I am thrilled to be working with Devlin. Thank you, Patrick. I am thrilled to be working with Devlin and this project, which is a good blend of like realism and Looney Tunes logic. I could not have a better collaborator than this person to my right or left, however the screen is going. So once again, I'm glad we could meet in one of the most interesting circumstances possible. After what we worked on, Comics Are Dying, the graphic novel, about 2 years ago. So that's how we met there. So he did it. You did the. Remind me, was it the Phantom page? Devlin?
Sorry, it's starting to get a little choppy again, but
yeah, he did the page. He did the Phantom page for the history of comics.
So tell us more about this Phantom page. Is it a menace? Yeah.
I suppose he is. I suppose no. It was because the Comics Are Dying was a history of comic books. So
Right.
Devlin did the page all about the Phantom. And I guess on that note, I'll take it from there. I guess I'll introduce myself. So I'm Lewis Southard. I'm a comic book writer. I've been working for close to a decade now in the industry. First published, or at least got my first publishing deal when I was 19 with good old Action Lab Entertainment. That is a nice red flag for those of you who know.
Yeah, it is.
And then more recently, I've worked with Valiant Entertainment on the new Exo Manowar book that they've got coming out, the anthology, in this year actually. And prior to that, did some Flash Gordon over at Mad Cave, and then a bunch of creator-owned stuff. Comics Are Dying, the comic, Midnight Western Theater, Blackout Bombshell, a whole slew of things.
Awesome. And now here we are with Laugh Riot.
Yes.
Yes. And issue 2, to be clear, is funding now on Kickstarter.
Oh, before we get into that, sorry, Devlin, what was the first comic book that you read, and what, or do you remember what it was, and what was it about that appealed to you?
Man, I can't remember. It was probably an old random back issue like Batman or something like that. But I think when I was very young, the appeal was that what I could read in a comic was just as enthralling and kinetic as something on the screen in a cartoon or movie. And so I was just kind of like just fixated on how much could be accomplished in the medium, and then that kind of love for what I was reading matured along with me into kind of I think like a more kind of fleshed out view of the medium. And so I've just always been reading and then drawing and then reading and then drawing, and just kind of learning from what I've been reading. And and it's pretty much it.
Okay. You say you've been learning from what you were reading. Who are some of your influences?
Man, I mean, obviously Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli were kind of big. I was a big Batman head as a kid, and Alex Toth, Bill Everett, kind of like more artists that were kind of trained to be kind of fine artists that went into commercial art.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something about just the skill that they have that's super amazing to me.
Awesome.
Okay, sorry to derail.
No, you're fine, Chad. Before I ask another question, why don't we segue to your question before?
Which question was that?
Oh, nothing. I'm giving Chad a hard time.
Shall we get into Laugh Riot? Do you think
I would love to get into Laugh Riot?
I would too.
We're going to save that for the last 10 minutes.
All uphill from here.
No, okay. Well, how could I best describe it? So we're currently on Laugh Riot number 2. It's on Kickstarter. It's nearly funded. It's designed to be an 8-issue miniseries. It's the best logline I could think of is Looney Tunes versus 1984. And now I'll bombard the viewers with a nice little pitch. So imagine, if you will, dystopian society of the future called Usonia. It's perfect. It's all organized under a nice pristine image with not God King, but certainly a president of mythic proportion named Thaddeus K. Gander. He is all parts of all life, not just politics, but religion. 100% agree. Religion, your family life, your child rearing, even your most intimate desires and whatnot, the president is somehow involved. He's very much he's the key to all this in this world. And then one day, an impossible thing happens in this society, which is an anarchist jester by the name of Mary Andrew somehow manages to assassinate the president, which sends a massive shockwave through this society. And basically what this comic is different. It's almost, I don't want to call it an anthology, but it's certainly every issue builds on itself, but it all reflects on a different subsect of this fascist society and its response to the assassination and to this utterly outlandish terrorist of their society, and these different groups' responses to him as well. So issue 1 is clearly the assassination. Issue 2, which is what we're currently going to talk about, is all about the Department of Faith's response, or the religious response of this society. And I'll give a little tease for issue 3. Issue 3 is the military-industrial complex's response to Mary Andrew. So, and it goes on, so on and so forth for this comic. So, but don't let it scare anybody. It's not a political comic at all. It is about a silly little jester being a funny little guy. And I think that's also another great way of looking at this book.
So it's not inspired by true events?
I'm gonna say something that this is a little scoop for you guys. I'll tell you how much of a finger on the pulse I have with this book. This was originally started, before we moved it to Kickstarter, as a pitch to a unnamed publisher. That's what I'm going to refer to them as. And the week I submitted the completed issue for review, which is the opening issue, is the assassination of this fictional president. The day after I had submitted it was the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And if you could imagine, the publisher was like, well, it's very good, but
a little hot.
Yeah, a little hot. But if anything, I was like, okay, we're on to something here. We're pretty confident with how things are going, with how this is going. So we're predicting the future with this book, unfortunately.
So, aside from the current events, what inspired you to take this kind of journey?
Well, I think current events is a good place to start. I think not everyone, but certainly a good chunk of people, very frustrated with the world we live in today. And for me, and the sort of spot I was at in my personal life, I was like, you know what? I am going to write a script, a concept for me. I'm going to channel all these feelings into something artistic, right? Like, I'm going to make something that, instead of just sitting with it, just put it all into something else. And then that kind of boiled into, well, I've never really done this with a project before, where I'm trying to get a little more Lewisy with it, for lack of a better term. So I was like, well, why don't I just get a little strange with it? Why don't I put all sorts of Lewisy things in this book? So like things I love from history have been going into this book, from art history have been going into this book, as well as like Looney Tunes logic, like Looney Tunes cartoons, and just even conspiracy theories. The latest script I wrote is all about the Shelley Miscavige disappearance, or special sabbatical from the Church of Scientology, which isn't even a conspiracy; it's a very real thing. Very much inspired by that event to go into that. So it's very much like it's a selfish project. I'm not going to lie to any of you. It's a selfish project that I am making, and I have forced Devlin to join me, but I as well as all the other fine creators. But it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice, and it's kind of what comics, at least in my point of view, that's where the real joy comes from. Because as I've been getting older in this industry, like a lot of jobs, you have to work within a certain level of guidelines, a certain structure,
parameters, and what have you.
Yes. So like, a good example with, let's say Flash Gordon or Exo Manowar, like whenever I was writing them, like the editors would give me a list of things like, we can't do this, we can't do that. Licensor said this. And that breeds a lot of fun creativity, but it also can't allow you to like use the first thing that pops up into your head sometime. And sometimes that could be like the most pure idea. So I think creator owned, and just diving deeper into that, and not really, even with the rejection from that publisher, just going like, F it, we'll make it ourselves, and see what happens. And it's been very rewarding so far to see who has been jiving with this book and who has been like giving us attention. I'm very thankful you guys are giving us a spotlight to talk about a Kickstarter. But like even just yesterday, an episode on a PBS show just released where we talked about the book as well. And like they invited me on to talk about basically a self-published book. And I'm like, this is insane. This doesn't just happen, but it's like, if anything, it's made me more confident that like you can just make these books yourselves, or bet on yourself, to use a better expression. And things can happen. Things can happen.
I'm sure it was a nice warm up for this show.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I was probably more nervous coming here than for the PBS book.
You can curse on our show.
Okay, awesome.
So there's that.
So Devlin, what is it about the project that appealed to you and made you want to take this crazy ride?
Oh well, it was just like first of all, it was just a really great pitch. I mean, it just it didn't feel like kind of like a pastiche of something that already exists. It really felt like it was a true to his heart idea from Lewis, and also, I mean, just the idea, just the conceit of it's classic cartooning, classic comics. You have the silly character that can do anything that the medium allows him to do, and then you have like these kind of hard-boiled, grizzled, gritty, this world that he lives in, and it's just it was a real dream for me, from my sensibilities, that really made me want to be a part of it.
So how did you two initially hook up as collaborators?
Well, I put out during the Comics Are Dying days, I needed 100 artists, and I cannot remember if Devlin was part of the first 50 or the latter 50, but Devlin sent me an email. It must have been the latter 50, because I put out a call looking for people, and Devlin reached out. He sent me the samples, and we worked on that together. And then when this came around, and it's very much writing one of those scripts centered around like an artist, right? Or centered around a specific style. So I did need, like, to bounce off what Devlin was saying, like someone who could do something serious and grounded and gritty and realistic, but also do like this insane, cartoony character, like someone that can, like, even with the character's expressions and emotions, like, he wears a mask that like Spider-Man can emote, and it can go from like a goofball, or even like the character's dressed as a jester, so like even the hat can emote and stuff like that. Like one of the best examples in issue 1 is like when he's confident, he's getting away with it, his hat is raised up and erect and proud, and then the second he's seemingly about to be caught, goes limp, looks very sad, like very, it's funny like that. It's stuff like that is just good fun. It's good fun, but he can do both. And I very much wrote that script with Devlin in mind, and he was the first person I sent it to. And yeah, after that, we've just been cooking ever since. And hopefully we will still get to cook forever onward until this thing is done.
Now, it's right now it's only 8 issues with possibility for more should it catch on.
No, not at all. I very much want it to be a one and done story. Like it's all mapped out. I don't have like an actual like I wish I had a Pepe Sylvia wall behind me of like all the wires, connecting to whatever it is that we're building up to. But no, it's very much supposed to be like a nice one and done tale, a nice beginning and end. I don't really like dreaming too far into the future. I'm going to steal a line from Christopher. Who's the guy that played Saruman?
Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee. I was about to say Christopher Pace, but he's the elf. He's the elf guy. But Christopher Lee, he said that whatever the thing that I'm working on right now is the most important thing. And I think that's a great attitude to have with comics. If it does end up becoming like a gigantic blockbuster, a book event of the year, and I have no doubt that it will. But if it does make it to that point, then yeah, maybe there's room to continue. There's always. I think this is a great character and kind of world. If anything, the world's like the biggest character. It's a very bizarre, strange little place we've made. I feel like the anarchist jester that can do impossible things is possibly the most boring part of this book, which is a funny thing to say. But there's a lot of potential. But I very much enjoy like a book that you can just sit down and there is a beginning, middle, and end, and you don't got to worry about nothing else.
So
go ahead.
No, that's go for it, Chad.
I was going to say, Devlin, tell us a little bit about your process of doing the art. Do you work, traditional, digital, hybrid?
I'm pretty much mainly digital, but every once in a while, if I really want to kind of map everything out and be a little bit more precise, I'll do layouts traditionally, just kind of like on a larger kind of board, and just try to, and for some reason, just kind of feels easy. I can see all of the pages like right next to each other and just bounce back and forth, and then once I get approval for layouts, I'll do them digitally, and sometimes it's smoothly, like if the pages, like the kind of flow of them is running smoothly, I'll be able to just do one after the other, and then sometimes I kind of bounce back and forth between them, and yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. I mean Lewis's script is very well dictated, and there's some room
oppressive,
for
which is fitting.
Yeah, exactly. No, but there's also enough room for kind of little gags for me to kind of improvise off of, and yeah, I mean it's just a pretty smooth process, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Devlin, has there been anything in the scripts that has particularly challenged you or stretched you in a way that brought you to new limits for yourself, creatively or otherwise?
What have I put in the script that's given you the biggest sigh?
Oh man,
What are you sick of drawing?
let me think. It's all. I mean, I think now where I am artistically, I can kind of, if I had to draw something I've never drawn before, I can kind of. I have enough tools to work it out, but there was in issue 1. There was a really. It seemed really scary at first, where we had kind of a splash page where the gutter kind of acted as it was kind of a DeLuca effect where you're seeing like Mary Andrew and different panels like moving, but if you kind of step back, you can see that it's kind of one frame that we're seeing him kind of scurry around. And when I was thinking about it, like when I was reading the script and then when I was doing layouts, I was like, Jesus, I'm not cut out for this. But then upon doing the work, it was like so much fun, and it really went smoothly. And there's stuff like that where it's kind of, if almost for a second I feel like I'm getting in over my head, but then it kind of, there's a kind of frequency to the script and to the pages where I can kind of flow into it, and it all works out in the end.
Awesome.
I'm surprised you said that, because I would feel that issue 2, it opens with like, okay, it's fragments of a painting, and this we have to make it clear that it's a painting and not the real people, and then it blows out. I'm going to apologize to everyone on air right now, to Devlin. This is a public apology for the things that I put him through with the script. I do put the golden rule, up on top of all the scripts, that if he has a better idea, he can always take it. But but we've not gotten into it. We've not had our first fight yet, which I'm waiting for that. But so far it's been so good. It's been running smoothly. I don't think I've hit you with the. Oh wait, have I told you with issue 3? It's the 100 fighter pilots or fighter jets, all with a different dinosaur pilot. We're building up to, and the best part is, it's not even essential to the plot. It's all just a daydream that the characters having.
Lots of rubble.
Shades of Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah.
So Lewis, having been in writing comic books for 10 years, how do you feel that you've grown from then to this point, and are there any lessons that you've learned while you were working on this book particularly?
I think I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned over the course of all this has been not to try and repeat myself, whether it be in genre or like style, anything like that. Like this whole book, I won't lie, it's also been a bit of an experiment for me with script writing. Like Devlin alluded to it, like and I joked about it, but like this script is something I've never done before, or these scripts have been something I've never done before, which are, it's all hinged around or based around 6-panel grids. And like I had to sit down one night and I went on Photoshop, and Devlin can testify to this, because like they're all represented in the script, of like different ways to modify a 6-panel grid in order to create a layout for a page, and like having that like work within the context of the story, or like how did the panels like interact with each other, like the one Devlin was talking about with the elevator sequence, like that was like using the gutters as a wall between like 3 panels that represents different floors of a building, while one long panel represents an elevator shaft, and stuff like that. And it's been fun to try to like come up with new and different ways to experiment with how that page can look like, within this restriction I've created for myself. I'll say the 6-panel grid kind of came from Jack Kirby of all places with the original OMAC run, because OMAC was a big inspiration for like how weird you can make an oppressive society. So that was a big inspiration for this book. But so that, as well as like with this book in particular, being a little more earnest with my inspirations or the things that I'm putting into it, like as well as trying to not just be. Oh wait, we got to shout out some of the other people of the team, because we have Kev Kettner, who is the editor of this book. He's worked at Dynamite in a Blaze, and he's been essential to this process because he's been helping with the edits, and also like it's been a real balancing act of tone, because it is like serious, real worldy, adjacent topics and situations going on, but there is also this Looney Tunes thing, and working together, we've created like this nice, funny, creepy blend going on of a story. So I'll shout him out. Buddy Bedoin is the letterer. He's, of course, of now DC fame. Him and I have been working together for that entire decade, and I'm always so thrilled that that he always still wants to work with me. So I'm very,
local guy for me.
Yeah, he's a hell of a guy, and I really appreciate our friendship. And then the covers are by Julianne Griep, another longtime collaborator. I think she is one of the best, other than Devlin, of course. I think she is one of the best illustrators and artists alive. I love her. I love her as a person. I love her as an artist. And I work with her as much as I can. And for this one, each cover of each issue is her Laugh Riot depiction of a famous or infamous American propaganda painting from throughout history.
Oh, cool.
So if you are an art history fan, as well as just proper history, you'll get a lot of kicks out of this. I know for issue 2 right now, I'm getting a lot of fun messages of people noticing that it's in inspiration of the American Progress painting from the 1800s or Manifest Destiny, depending on how you learned it in school, because that's how I learned about it. But she is fantastic. And then other than that, we've been getting. This has been because this is like a passion project.
Sure.
I've mostly been trying to work with friends and trying to give them more work, and as well as just have an excuse to work with them. So for issue 1, the variant artists. Oh, brain, don't fail me now. This is how I know I'm getting old. But I cannot. I cannot remember. But issue 2 right now. Frederick Horning is a fantastic horror artist. He's done one of the variants, as well as Alex Moore, another artist from England, a good friend, as well as a very talented person. They have done a variant for us as well. And then another friend, this is a real great friend to have. They are a cosplayer, an artist, and a scientist. So if I am in a really tricky situation, I can rely on Liza Vanderart, who is someone with also a very cool name, who is doing all the sticker art for all of these campaigns. So they're coming up with bonus material as well. So that's the whole team as of right now. But yeah, no, I wanted to shout them out. Got to give them all credit. But to go back to your original question, what I learned a lot. That's the best way I'm going to sum it up.
What is your experience this time on Kickstarter? I mean, I know you've done some other previous Kickstarters. You've done other funding platforms. Are you noticing anything different this time, with the economy, how it is?
So before we worked together on the Comics Are Dying, which was on Zoop, and that was my first foray into crowdfunding, which was very much, you make the book, you give the book, but they will help with some promo, but you obviously have to, put yourself out there and do it. But they mainly handled fulfillment and distribution. So like they would print the book and then they would send it to everybody, which for me, I love being lazy. So I was like, this is a sweet deal. This is great. I can just make the book and give it to them and call it a day. But I took that experience to be like, well, I sometimes you just don't want to wait for a green light. Sometimes you don't want to wait for permission. So I was like, okay, Lewis, you cannot be lazy no longer. You must actually put the work in if you want to just make comics on your mind's schedule. So for this, the issue 1, it went very smoothly. It will, we promoted it and people came, people gave it a shot, retailers and people from both of our respective audiences as well as our other collaborators. But it was very, I've never with Zoop, they don't give you the backer list until I didn't get it till like a year or two after the whole thing was done. So I didn't know who supported the project or not. But with this, I can keep up to date and see who doesn't. And it's really, this is going to sound not crazy. It's genuine. Like it's heartwarming to see like who's coming out to support us. And it's nice to see the familiar names and faces and whatnot. Oh, we lost them. I was so heartwarming and heartfelt that he had to go.
You're having your first fight.
Yes.
I knew it was coming.
Okay, Devlin is back.
I was too sentimental for you.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Devlin's way of telling us that we need to include him in the conversation more.
No, we'll get to him next. I'm almost done. But yeah, it's been nice. That's been really nice.
He's back.
And then it's been very cool. We sent I sent all the packages out. It's gave people some extra goodies and whatnot. And then it's just been having to better, just put the effort in and do what we got to do in order to get the book out. It's been pleasant. It's been pleasant so far.
Any downsides to this campaign that are pitfalls or things that you've learned along the way? And this is a question really for both of you.
Besides the fact that you have to do the work.
Besides that, yes.
No, that's the thing that keeps me up at night. Oh no, I have to go. The local post. Oh no, buying snacks for the local post office has been the best part. I gave them bribery muffins, so they would not hate me as much when I'm coming with like, oh, good news, everyone! I have 50 packages for you today. So I'll let you take it, Devlin. What are the pitfalls we got going on? What's our struggle?
His audio right now.
His audio. Yeah.
I'll take it then. I think I don't know. Like, obviously, there's no guarantee. It's not like we run under the very possibility that issue 2 won't fund. This is why we need everyone in the audience to come out and support us and hopefully spread the word. So there's always that thing of like, yeah, this can just, end at a moment's notice. But I don't really worry about that. I think, doing things like this, going out and actively trying to promote it, doing different things and trying to find the people. I think a good piece of advice I got from my friend Liza, the sticker artist, they said that you don't be afraid to come across as annoying when you're running a Kickstarter. Like in the sense of like, post about it, like, keep sharing it. Cause it's like, you don't want to waste that time or lose that time.
Oh, you can't, you literally can't afford to.
Exactly. No, like, and I think that I'm learning to admire, I think I'm learning to have a great deal more respect for a lot of people who do this almost like full time. Like I know, Cat Calamia and the Lifetime comics, like I can't imagine having the bravery and balls just to do that like a good chunk of the time. And
one campaign ends, they have another one starting right up.
I can't believe that. Like, this is giving me a lot of perspective with the crowdfunding space, and hey, it's very cool. It's very cool, but it's a lot of opportunities. It's a lot of its own individual problems. But I've worked in the direct market for more so than crowdfunding, and like I'd say that depending on your publishing partner, you can have a hell of a worse time with a proper boss or a proper like having. You can end up with the wrong people in charge, and then that can drag you down a rabbit hole you don't want to go down.
Right.
We can go into if we were to rechurn my past employers, you would see me in a peanuts gallery of the comics industry and the plights we went through with some of them. But I shan't do that because I am a kind soul and I don't mean to disparage anyone. But like I would much rather deal with the problems of Kickstarter or anything like that, or then to end up again in like a years long oh, I wonder if I'm going to get my publishing rights back, or like, I wonder if this person still works at this company or not. Like, I take, this is not a headache from my point of view. Even the headaches are not headaches,
Right.
which is a very, very privileged and a very nice way to look at it. But I don't think it came from it's come from perspective. Like, it's come from having a proper comparison of like, okay, like there are worse places to be.
Yeah, most definitely. It comes down to the fact that you're running this whole thing. It's all on y'all's shoulders, not just yours, Lewis's, but yours as well, Devlin. And win, lose, or fail, or win, lose, or draw. I mean, it comes down to you, and that's very empowering.
I think Devlin has to draw regardless.
Devlin has to draw regardless. It's true.
That's very good. That's you got a good smile out of me. Like that's like a dad joke level respect.
I see what you did there. It took me a second. The wheels are a little slow tonight. I was turning through some homework before the show, and then my brain is a little soft and smooth right now. But I got you. That was good.
Well, I have the time zone advantage. I'm 3 hours in the past, so you guys are about to hit the hay.
What that is, I don't know. I'm in Oklahoma City, so I'm right in the middle.
No need to brag. No need to brag, Matt.
We're proud of our national championship in the NBA around here.
Listen, pal, we all wish we could be in Oklahoma City right now, but we just aren't. That's just
actually circling back to our earlier conversation about terrifying snowstorms. You probably don't want to be here in the next couple days because it's coming.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. I will stay out west then.
Stay out west.
I will stay out west and survive.
Survive.
Devlin, can you hear us?
Oh, Devlin.
I think he froze. Oh wait,
yeah,
no.
We're gonna remove him and then put him back.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me now, Devlin?
I think so. It's a little bit better. I'm not sure, but
okay.
Whatever Lewis said, I co-sign it. I heard everything he said.
He said he wasn't paying you.
Oh man!
I said Chad, I was gonna.
You went there. That's cold-blooded, brother.
The money dry. I had to pay them to get this interview spot, so that's where all the money went.
That's why it's been so cushy. That's why it's been so cushy.
Quick, ask Devlin a question before the audio.
Right? Chad, go for it.
Is this your first experience crowdfunding, or have you done other stuff within like a Kickstarter by on your own or with other people? I know you're working with somebody else, but
can I get that one more time?
Have you done a Kickstarter by yourself before, or is you just part of a project like this one?
Here, I'm going to answer.
Right.
Oh, wait. You good?
One more time. I think it's working now. I think it's smoother now.
Have you done a Kickstarter
so
before?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take it from there. So Devlin has done The Stranger with writers James Patrick and Thomas Phillipson. I believe that's been running for maybe 1 or 2 years. But like that is a gritty noir superhero tale, all about uncovering the secret identity of a mass murderer and their influence on the world. James and Thomas are both mutual friends, both of ours. And their campaign, I believe, is next month, directly after ours. So if you are a Devlin fan, have I got good news for you? You've got Laugh Riot immediately segueing into Stranger number 3, if I'm correct. And then the only other crowdfunding that I know of, and if you could hear me, Devlin, you could reject this, but was Comics Are Dying, the comic. I'm gonna if you agree, don't say anything. Awesome. Okay, we got it, guys.
So
another successful episode of the Comic Culture Show.
This is real life. This is real life. The people at home, this is what podcasting is. This is technical difficulties. This is dead air once in a blue moon. This is awkwardness. This is the raw, real situation.
I could get into this.
This is what Comic Watch is, or this is what Comic Watch could be. This is what it is right now.
That's what it is. That's right.
Again,
I like to say
we're again a step above PPS.
Yes. Like they've lost their funding. Screw them.
It went all to you guys. yeah. But what was, what? I'm not going to lie. I think I haven't watched the episode myself because I don't much care watching myself. But like, when I did I was so anxious. I'd never been on TV before. So like but they beamed me onto the TV that they got. And then, like there were 10 to 15 people in the crew, right? And then there's just my ham face on the big flat screen that they got. And I'm like, I was so, I don't know. I'm sure I'd come across, my friends told me I seem fine, but inside it was just like 10 nuclear bombs going off like every 2 minutes. And there was a great point where like, they asked me a really tough question. And then my brain couldn't come up with thoughts, if you could believe that. Like I couldn't even speak. I went nonverbal, as the kids say. And I when I finally could say something, I was like, we're gonna need to cut all this out. Because I was just like I was just like, okay, damage control time. But then after that, I was like, inside, I was like, well, we've already fucked up. It's only upward from this point onward. Let's roll. And that was that. But yeah, that's a little scoop for anybody who's watching this and that.
So kind of getting into the nitty gritty of the campaign, what are you offering for funding levels for people to back?
All right. So I think the key to, at least for the campaigns that we're running, is affordability right now. With the economy the way it is, we want to make some cheap self-published comics in comparison to a lot of Kickstarter books that come quick. So we starting off with the iconic digital option. If you want it day after release, well, then boy oh boy, or day after the campaign ends, then bam, there it is. But if you want that precious physical copy to add to your collection or to frame and put on your wall, then we have the cover A. Then we have by Julianne Griep, which is the main series edition. After that is the 2 variants. one by Alex Moore, followed by the one by Frederick Hornung. Alex is very like, I don't want to use the word Disney, but we use if you've seen Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Hellfire animation sequence with Count Froyo or Frodo, not Frodo, it's Frollo. It's yeah, it's.
I thought you said Froyo.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those things I said, but like it's like the fire engulfing Mary Andrew, and then Frederick. He's a classically trained horror artist, so I had to get him to do some vintage EC Comics inspired art for that. And then we have the cover bundle. If you want to buy all three, you can get that for a discounted rate, followed by the retailer bundles. We have a discounted rate for 10 copies of issue 2 for anyone that got issue 1 prior, as well as a catch-up bundle for retailers. So you'll get 5 copies of issue 1 and then 5 copies of issue 2. So that way, if you've loved everything we've had to say, then you can join in. And then if you are just an individual that wants to catch up or to get into this series, then we have a series bundle. You can get issue 1 and issue 2 for a cheap or inexpensive rate. And then what do I call it? It's like the comic book lover aficionado tier or whatever, where you could get the book and then you can have a 1 hour like industry chat with me to talk about writing or to talk about how to break into the industry. I very much enjoyed. We only did 3 of those for the first one, and all 3 sold out. And I very much enjoyed those. And talking to people and you know, trying to teach more about the little tricks and ways to navigate this tough industry. And then finally, if I'm correct, then it is the series or the overall Mary Andrew bundle where you'll get all 3 variants or all 3 covers of issue 1 and then all 3 covers of issue 2. So then that'll be all 6 kind of like distinct versions of the book in one nice little package. And then of course for add-ons we have stickers made by Liza Vanderart. That each sticker is a little joke or a little meme type thing, like inspired by the subject matter of each issue. And the best part is with the stickers is that they keep coming back for every issue. So, and people I've been having a lot of fun seeing people play with those. So it's it's very nice. It's very nice. But I'm biased. Of course, I'd say everything we have is nice. It's superb. It's amazing, and you should buy it all.
You should buy it.
Not that I want to give away, you know, anything, but you said you will give people advice. What's the best advice that you've gotten, that has kind of helped you get to where you are?
Ooh, I would say, I can't say anyone has given me this advice. It's just more advice I've learned. Well, when I joined this industry by force, when I was basically a teenager, I come from a very like blue collar background. Like I'm the first man in my family to ever have a job that's like not in a field or in a yard somewhere, like doing anything. So I very much had to learn how to even start with like any of this. Ooh, that's a very good idea, Walker Haddock. But how to do any of this, I had to learn, and luckily I had a lot of people teach me like art theory. I used to work with a lot of art collectives back then, and they taught me a lot about like different styling and composition, and like it was getting a lot of distinct mentors through experience in that kind of way. But the brashness, the bravado, and the naivete of youth, I learned that you could just send emails to people. You could find people's emails and you could send them emails, and you have no idea that who will treat you seriously. And I will say that like not my first book, but my second book, Midnight Western Theater, was co-created with artist David Hahn, who but at that time I was like 19, 20, and he was well into his late 40s, early 50s. And he had already worked on Batman stuff and Spider-Man and Fantastic Four and all sorts of things at the big two. And then I was like, hey man, you have a really cool art style. Like, I have a book about goth cowboys. You wanna make a book about goth cowboys? I'm just a random guy you don't know. And he's like, yeah, you are a random guy that I do not know, but did you say goth cowboys? And then I'm like, and then that's how we started working together. And that was my first properly published work. And it did just teach me, like, if you're a person of your word, if you're a professional, and you do what you say you're going to do, and just do the work, you won't really have a problem with whoever you're dealing with, really. And I think with comics, it's so small that, like, I think there's a lot less judgment than we think. One thing I told someone is I think the greatest gatekeepers in comics are ourselves. Like, we can talk ourselves out of a lot of opportunities or positions or places because we think, like, well, they won't want to talk to me, or they're like, oh, they won't give me the time of day, or they won't give me a chance, or blah blah blah. But, like, no, I think, like, it's the industry's so small, figuratively speaking. Like, you can't survive in this industry by being an a-hole. So what does this mean? Most people in this industry are pleasant people. Like, and you won't always get a reply back, but the people that do mean that they see something in you. Either they see that you are a serious professional, or they see potential, or they just want to make cool stuff, like, but you don't know if you don't send that email, if you do not, try. So that's been the biggest piece of advice that I give to everyone of any age, of just like, yeah, don't talk yourself out of it. Better to just send it and see what happens. Like, good example, not to ramble too long, but the Exo Manowar thing, they took it down. But on Valiant, they used to have a writer submission email that from like six from the original Valiant, like in the not the original, but like the 2010s relaunch, Yeah. And
Kid stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff. Like, I found that email a year or so ago, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna send an email to this, and nothing happened until one random day when I had basically quit comics and become a lumberjack in the middle of the woods of England. I got an email saying, like, hello, my name is I'm the new editor of the new Valiant, and I went through the old editor's email and I found your email sat here from like a year or two ago. You want to work on a book? I was just like, okay, this is the best scam ever. Like, this is like I woke up and I saw this and I was just like, this is bullshit. Like, but then I did the research and I'm like, this is real? This is I'm like, okay. But that's exactly what I mean. Like, you just send it, and even if it's like a year or 2 or 5 later, hell, it's still there. So
right.
That's how Darwin Cook got started at DC with the comics proper, with the Batman Ego. He sent it in, they put it in a filing cabinet, and then somebody else found it 5 years later. It's like, why did we not publish this? So, really depends. Really depends.
Well, that sounds like some excellent words of wisdom to end on. Thank you, guys, both. And Devlin, I'm sorry we had some audio issues on your side throughout the podcast. But guys, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Laugh Riot #2 is funding right now on Kickstarter. You should check it out, especially if you want a shot at Laugh Riot #3. So. Exactly.
We cannot make this book without you guys, and we cannot continue without you guys. So please join us.
Give us a pitch and where people can find you.
Yes.
No, Devlin, take it away.
What was the question?
You sign off.
Oh yeah, bye bye.
Okay. All right. So Devlin is Devlin Baker is at Fancy.
That. Yeah. I'm at Fancy Goblin _ on everything, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
And I am Lewis Southard. You can find me. You can Google me. I pop up. I'm at Lewis Southard pretty much everywhere. And Laugh Riot #2 is currently on Kickstarter. It's funny. It's topical. It's got great art. It's got a fun story. I'm biased, but you know what? I would never lie to you, viewer at home. We need your help in order to fund it. It is nearly funded. There's a lot of great art by a lot of other great creators, and there are sample pages. If you check the campaign right now, you can get a taste of what the book is, see if it's really for you. And I have no doubt that it is. So thank you so much to Matt and Chad for having us, and hopefully we have converted a few people to join the merry makers that make up the Laugh Riot.
Oh yeah,
That'll work. Chad, who do we have next week?
Are you reading Batman Green Arrow The Question?
Yes.
Gabriel Hartman will be joining us.
What?
Whoa.
That's pretty cool. Can't wait to talk with the gentleman in question. Thank you all.
Like Lewis said, you just send somebody an email and
You never know what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well let's put a pin in it until next week. Thank you all for listening. I was firmly against Laugh Riot, but you two have convinced me. All right, Mr. Patrick Bramble 6445, you have been officially converted.
This guy's been sending me letters in the mail saying that we had to shut down this Kickstarter. He's been sending me very ominous letters, and the fact that he could come here and show his face is very surprising. But seems like he's going to be giving us
my crypto wallet.
Well,
he's trying to.
Sounds like he's going to give us money now, so he can't be all that bad.
Hooray! All right. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Mm-hmm.